Young Muslims from all over the Chicago area gathered in October to talk about living out their faith in tumultuous times. To learn about what happened there, let's welcome Jamil Karim, Youth Coordinator for the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago, which sponsored the Expo, Tahani Hassan of the Muslim Women's Alliance, and Waleed Sankari, Program Coordinator for the Council of Islamic Organizations of Greater Chicago. Why was it important to bring young Muslims together with this Expo?
We really feel that coming together and having them to come together with a safe space and to learn about the 60 plus organizations that Muslim organizations that are in Chicago, and just to really be able to have them come together and talk about just the times that we're in, you know, their thoughts, their worries. So it's really important for us to bring them together and just from all over Chicago and just bring them together and have them have that safe space and that safe environment.
The theme of the Expo was youth inheriting a legacy. What does that mean? As
we get older, some of us have the opportunity to take over our father's businesses, or our parents, you know, left us a house, or, you know, we have this huge, long list of individuals within a long line of a family that we inherit, we take a hold of, and we continue it. So just like, you know, Muslim youth, they're inheriting the responsibilities of teaching the next generation about being, you know, model citizens and people who are true to their faith, and they also inherit the positions and the posts that our fathers or their fathers are holding. So that's what it was all about. It's that understanding that it is time for us for the people who are already in those positions to improve the youth, to make the youth better, to make them ready and prepared for these positions, and also for the youth to see honor and dignity in taking forward the initiative needed for them to be in those positions. You know, that this is yours, take it, you know, and that's what it was really more so all about, for me at least.
Mm-hmm. And I think being like, myself personally being second generation to this country, and I think really growing up here and then taking those roles as I grew older, it was important to show them that, look, like, I went through it, you're gonna go through it, and so let's learn, like how I learned, let's learn together, and let's learn, you know, maybe I made some mistakes that I could teach you, and that we could teach you, and that the people that came can teach you, so, and that really that, you know, they're not just inheriting it, that it's theirs now, so that they know that they take ownership in the organizations and the communities, that it's theirs now. It's not that they have to wait for it.
What were the key sessions at the Expo?
Wow, there were several. One of the sessions was our keynote speaker. His name is Ubaydullah Evans. He spoke about the very thing, inheriting a legacy, and just talking to Muslims about knowing that there are several individuals who have done massive things for society, important things for society, and that's their legacy that they left, and that understand that you're a part of that chain, that you're inheriting part of that, you know, the things that they left. So you have to be a link in the chain that's just as powerful, just as strong, that leaves just as strong as a legacy for the next to come. There were lectures about us empowering youth to understand that sometimes within our communities we have roles in every community that people are expected to live up to. So we had a particular segment saying that, you know, yes, many of our fathers want us to be doctors and lawyers and engineers, but if there's other things that you want to do, that you're capable of doing that. You don't have to fit into somebody else's expectation for you, but that you can build your own legacy. You know, if it's something that's not known within your family, or everybody doesn't, or, you know, the community's not used to that, if it's something that's positive, if it's something that's good and will uplift everybody, you know, not just within the community, but America at large, do it.
I think we also talked about marginalized youth as well, and how to engage them, and how to really kind of take look within and see what we have, our biases against people, and try to fix that from when you're a young age. So that session was a panel session, was a very strong and important session that the youth really enjoyed as well.
And we've seen an increasing threat against Muslims since the election, since all that's been going on in the past few months. How are you feeling about that, and are you planning for the future?
Yeah, certainly. I think it's important to mention that, anybody, if targeted, would feel uncomfortable in those type of circumstances. But Muslims are forward-thinking individuals, and we care about the land that we live in, and we care about the people who are around us. We all have Muslim and non-Muslim friends, that we spend time with and we love and we care about. And so it is important for us that even though rather you voted for Donald Trump or you didn't vote for Donald Trump, it's important that we are a part of the process of making America a peaceful place for everyone to live at. And so, we have the president that we have, and it's we really hope to work with him. We really hope to put effort in making this country a place where Muslims are valued, where Muslims are loved. Not saying that we're not valued, because we are valued. Just to give an example, a beautiful case with the young lady who unfortunately was attacked in New York. Her mayor stepped up and supported her, and was standing on her side. So we know that we have support, and it's just a matter of leveraging that support and working with Muslims and non-Muslims to bring greatness to this country.
Yeah, and I think, we organized some town halls after the election just to talk about people's feelings and talk about, let's hear about what are you guys feeling, what's going on, and I think that helped. And I think reaching out to not just our Muslim communities, but our non-Muslim communities too as well, and our churches, our synagogues that are in our greater community. And we've heard a lot of, after the election, there was a lot of positive things that came out of it. So as much as there was threats, there was a lot of positive, that people came to the mosque and just dropped off flowers and cards and saying, we're your neighbors, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And to know that you have those kind of people, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better going into the rest of.
And so you have seen that from various faith communities coming
we
together.
Have.
Is there more that could be done?
Well, I think there's two different ways, looking at elections. A lot of people look at things as, policies and parties, which most of the time I think is the national consensus. But what I think alarmed or raised eyebrows for many people is that a certain divisiveness was brought out in this country during the elections that sort of spills out of the realm of policy. It seems to be a very tangible force in our culture. And, not just, Muslim youth, but I think all youth, when they see these sort of things, it's a moment of reflection, on our moral soul as a nation. And I think that acts of communities coming together just like that definitely helps alleviate, these apprehensions of culture war, cultural divisiveness. Those wounds are healed not, through policy or through political activism, but they're, healed through people coming together.
That's very true.
And that's a lot of ways more immediate than, the effects of legislation or policy.
Right, and that means something.
Oh, most definitely.
For sure.
It means more, I think.
And I mean, just to add to what Walid is saying, I think as a situation, if there is a situation that comes up, I definitely think that, as he said, people will pull together to bring the best out of those situations if they're negative, and if they're positive, to continue them. So I think we're good, more or less.
Hopefully.
Well, thank you, Walid, Tahani, and Jamil for coming in today and talking to us. I think it's really great what you're doing, the work you're doing with youth to engage them from various faith communities and people who are not currently engaged in another type of community, and to hear your thoughts on how we move forward.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
here.
I'm Liz Dunn for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.